Hello ladies and gentlemen, I am PANCZASU, the mighty mix spammer, and yes, I'm back from the Korea Festival 2012 in the Royal Baths. It was amazing. I'm definitely going to talk a little bit more about that, but first of all, let me set up my timer because I forgot to do so. There we go. It's not going to be the longest videocast that you're going to see this time because I do have something scheduled to do relatively soonish. So I would rather be ready for that than just be caught off guard making a videocast, right? I hope you understand. Still, it's going to last at least for half an hour, maybe longer, we'll see how it goes. Now, last time we left off, we had kind of big pirate problem. There is a pirate ship in Kuyos. There might probably be more of them right now there, because we know how pirates work. They always try to screw you over in some way. So I assume the worst, there might be more pirates in there. Also, as you might know, have noticed, my dust is getting particularly low, so I should take care of that. Now, currently, fortunately, we still do not quite need to have as much science as we do. Even though apparently we are the last in terms of knowledge, that's unexpected. Yeah, how did that happen? But we are not the worst in terms of scores. Still, I was expected to be a little bit better than that. We're still third in terms of food production. How about the military? Well, no big surprise there. We are the worst. That's because I barely had any time to create any military whatsoever. There is somebody, though, who has even less ships than I do, so it's not all that, but it's just really bad. Which isn't the same as you... So, if you thought it is the same, then you were wrong. Yeah, that was really great, Pancake. Congratulations on making a remarkably sensible sentence, because... No, actually you didn't. I was just lying. Sorry for that one. So, let me end the turn because there isn't much for us. Oh yeah, I almost forgot to increase the taxes because we cannot afford to lose dust at this stage of the game. I would even go as far to say to risk being unhappy on my main system. This is going to be really painful, but unfortunately at this time there isn't much I can do about it. Next turn, however, it is gonna change dramatically because I'll be able to keep up infinite supermarkets. It's gonna help me out a lot, and I need it desperately in my home system. Now, let me end the turn. So first of all, it has been way too long since I've been to Royal Baths. I forgot how friendly... first of all, I forgot how beautiful it is. I mean, I'm not all that into the tree stuff that, oh, OMG, the tree is so beautiful. Because, guys, I live next to a forest. I see lots of trees every day. I love the way they look, don't get me wrong, but I don't spaz out if I see them. So, just FYI, that's... Okay, I encountered a Horatio and Amoeba. That's okay, I guess. Now let me continue moving in the direction I set my ships to move. And there is one more thing I wanted to talk about. Yeah, but even then, there are still a couple of things that are pretty beautiful in the Royal Baths. And is that a pirate ship? Yes, it is. It could kill me already. I have no idea why it isn't doing so. Maybe it's in a good mood, but unfortunately it might still attack me the next turn, which is a problematic issue, to say the least. Now, I can queue up botanical scanning. I'm definitely, not botanical scanning, but infinite supermarkets, definitely gonna do so. I can also pay just 2 deaths for the next Justica. They really are cheap, aren't they? Well, I'm not gonna complain, don't get me wrong, so I'm definitely gonna queue this guy up, and I am actually going to get a little bit more of them ready. This time they cost a lot more. So apparently this one was almost ready, I simply had to speed it up for 2 dust. Wow, that was really close to being ready. So anyway, thing that I forgot about Royal Baths that is really cool is how friendly the animals over there are. I mean, the deer being friendly... Oh, first of all, wait. That's supposed to be silent. What on earth was it doing? I have no idea. Okay, so the deers are friendly. Now, seeing the deers is not such a big deal for me because, first of all, I was on this D&D camp, as I said, and I've been seeing deers like every day over there because it's kind of in the wild. Secondly, even in my home, I see... From my home, not in my home, that would be kind of awkward. I see deers passing by, so yeah. That's, I guess, one of the advantages in living in the middle of nowhere that I usually hate, but at least I get to see deers every now and then, and other animals that may or may not try to eat me. So what do I want to go for Scion? To be honest, I'm not too sure. I am getting close to getting to a population maximizing my population on this planet, so I should expand to the new one. It will also give me access to titanium, so I'll yet again have this resource in abundance, which actually wouldn't help me at all. So yeah, so what am I gonna do? Let's see. I do want to colonize this planet. It's gonna take me only a single turn. Okay, and then 4 turns epigenetic crop seeding. It's still gonna be useful, even though not as much as you might expect, but I will be able to use it in the future, which is good enough by my standards. It's efficient. I guess that's the good way to call it. Now, I'm still hesitant to send my ships in there. First of all, I still didn't really give them the backup that I wanted to give them. What is this planet called? Servos, okay. Let's see if now I can retrofit my Procreator. No, indeed I cannot. I have no idea why. I actually do not understand it at all, but well, what am I gonna do about this? Not too much. And exploration is still not done. It doesn't cost a lot to speed it up, but I don't want to be left with only 0 deaths at this stage of the game. I mean, you might think that the difference between 1 and 0 is not too big, but trust me, when somebody starts actually trying to what's the word for that? Besiege your system, you lose all the dust that it may produce, but you still have to spend dust on keeping the system, so all of a sudden you might lose the dust rather than gain it, and then you would have to sell a bunch of stuff to be able to still make profit and be actually able to progress to the next turn, which might not be the best, I think, in the world not to be able to do so. So, just FYI, you do need at least a little bit of dust in the backup, and unfortunately it looks like I might be forced to increase the tax rate yet again. This is definitely not nice, but making more and more ships requires me to actually produce more and more dust, so that's the downside of this. Can you move? Oh, actually I didn't even finish the turn, so that's why I cannot indeed. Well, that I kinda guess. I guess that kinda makes sense. Still, even the fact that I tend to see the deers quite often, the animals in royal baths are really just so friendly. I mean, at one point there was a squirrel, right? This adorable little squirrel that actually climbed up my leg, and it was like, "Hey, you got donuts? I like donuts. Could you give me a donut? Please give me a donut. Oh, you don't have any donuts? Okay, bye. Screw you then." And it went away. It was kind of cute and adorable, I have to say. So that's one of the advantages of the royal baths. The biggest advantage for me, because as I said, I'm not too fancy in going quite a long distance just to see the trees that I can see every day. Besides, the garden around my house is pretty astonishing. As a result of my parents, or rather mom, absolutely loving the plants. So yeah, the garden is kind of significant, and I like it more than I like the royal baths, enough said. And we have even, well, I guess we don't really have more ducks than they have at royal baths, but still we have ducks, so that's kind of cute. And apparently, as of recent, we also have fish. I have no idea where they came from, because we never ever put fish in the little lake that we have nearby. But apparently, well, what probably happened is that the, what are they called? The fish eggs were attached to the feet, or do you call it? Let's call it feet, because I forgot the proper word, of the ducks that came by, and that's how we got fish in the lake nearby. True story. Kinda cool, isn't it? Yeah, I know you're jealous. Well, what can you do about that? So, first of all, those two Justicals, they could actually try and do something useful. I'm not too sure what yet, but I think I'm gonna send them to... Actually, I'm gonna merge those two fleets together just because, hey, why not? I don't really have a real reason for that. I'm not sure where am I going to need those ships, so I'm just going with better safe than sorry tactic. Now next turn, will I be able to move with us when the ships comes through and move all the way through to Kios? I have no idea, but we're gonna try it regardless. I guess I finished some kind of stuff. It's almost maxed out, only 3 turns till this actually happens. So I guess I can actually go ahead and colonize this huge area, which will be kinda nice. Actually, I should queue up something afterwards, so... These old systems, do I really need the extra influence in the area? Actually, it could be kinda decent. But for now, I really need the dust more than anything else, so that's what I'm going to queue up. Now, is everything ready to pass for the next turn? I believe that is the case. You do have a right schedule, that's very nice indeed, and I can end the turn. But I have been talking about the royal baths, but I haven't been talking about the event that took place over there, which is the Korea Festival, which is also so many Koreans. Man, even in Paris I haven't seen so many Koreans in a single place at once. It was amazing. Unfortunately, I didn't get to use as much of my Korean knowledge as I had hoped for, And actually, honestly speaking, it kind of felt like all of a sudden I forgot like most of the knowledge I have of the language just because of the thought that OMG, it's a Korean, it's another Korean, there are many Koreans in here. And I was so excited I couldn't even thought about the most simplistic sentences to say, which was kind of embarrassing to say the least. Unfortunately, I ended up talking in English most of the time. But still, even counting that, there wasn't as many possibilities to talk to Koreans as you might think. I mean, there were many, but not as many as you might think, because many of the, I have no idea how to call it, people who were helping organize this event and were stationed at different stations and so on and so forth, were actually from Poland, and they were simply helping out the Koreans that were there. So more often than not, when somebody saw that a Korean is approaching this the stand, then they pushed out another Korean to talk to him, and when they saw me, they pushed another Pole to talk to me, which was not too nice, but I did try my best and did manage to talk to a bunch of Koreans, so that's at least something, I guess. Now let's merge all those ships together into a single fleet and try and take Kyros by force. Now, there's still only a single ship in here, so we should be able to take it out, as one of the procurators has no defense whatsoever, but the other is actually armed with missiles, and it is able to deflect some of the kinetics, so this should be relatively decent-ish. I don't want to go for adaptive strategy just because of this single procurator that is kind of defenseless, so instead I think I'll go for short circuit or maybe magnetic field, because I don't have beams just yet, and I kind of need magnetic. Oh, never mind, because I need to protect it. Procurator that is defenseless, so I will go for short circuit. It did work, which is all sorts of nice, and I have quite a bit of rockets. It should be all good and dandy by the end of this or the next turn. We'll see how much damage I am actually able to deal to this ship. So far so good. It's kind of loud, I guess, but I will leave it as it is for now. It's kind of funny actually to be able to fight the enemy with procurators. I haven't seen that in a while, and the enemy goes down to a volley of rockets. That's what I like to see very much. So it went better than I worried it might. So what I'm going to do is use the unarmed procurator to settle on this system, and then I'll move with remaining 3 ships into another system, hoping there are not too many pirates spawned in there. There might actually be none, I don't know about this. Or there might be an entire fleet ready to wipe out my whole empire and capture it for their own, which happened to some people in the past, and by some people I mean some AI players. Which is kind of hilarious, you might remember it. Now, what do I want to colonize first? I have a choice between Tundra and Desert. The Tundra will give me friendly robot locals, which is amazing. It gives you a lot of production, and this is something you might enjoy. And Hydrogenous Rings gives you more dust and science, which is not so great in system-wise, because at the start you need food the most, but on the second place it is the production. Also, on top of that, Small Desert, it gives you quite a bit of unhappiness. However, what I do remember and what I do care about is the fact that right now I do need some dust. And because the system is relatively well protected, it's on the back of my entire empire, I think I can afford to colonize the desert and try and radically improve the food production as I go. So that's what I'm going to do. Desert colonized. Obviously the first thing I'm gonna go for is alien graphing, because as I said, I need this food ASAP. Because the desert has quite a decent industry production, I guess you can see it is the highest in the system, it is higher than the lava one, which is kind of surprising. Actually, I didn't know this is the case, but apparently it is. So, nevertheless, I don't think I need to go for heavy setup right away. I think I can afford to go. Let me see, that's 15 turns, that's 6 turns, so actually never mind. I will go for heavy setup and refineries, because this will speed up the production of sustainable farms, and I kinda want this to take place. Then again, those both upgrades take the same amount of time, so I will go for farms first. Yeah, there we go. I am quick to change my mind, but I guess it's good when you can actually improve rather than not do so. Whatever, I'm just talking gibberish today. It's not the best videocast I have ever made. That's probably because it is day, as you might actually think, because I forgot to get out. I said get out offline. So as you can see, yeah, it is kinda early, and I'm not too good at making videocasts at reasonable hours, which is surprising, I guess. So what? Okay, those are the amoebas. They started making a push for the center of the map. The blue player, who is the blue player? I need to check that out real quickly. That blue player, I have not seen him yet, but I do have a very great memory, and I think that those might be the United Empire, which is not too great, because if they settle up on Los and Turkana as well, then we're gonna have quite a bit of border conflicts, and those guys are quick to grab their weapons, so it might be a little bit stressful. I'm definitely not even going to make a slightest effort to go for those 3 systems, because, yet again, it would make more border conflicts with quite a lot of players. It would actually block some of them for reaching the center of the galaxy, and they would utterly hate me for it. And even though these systems might be nice, although this one is pathetic, but let's assume the systems are nice. Even if they were, the trouble it would take to actually, you know, guard them and be able to protect them would be far too big, and would obviously honestly not be worth to actually try and hold on to those systems when it would just make you at war with pretty much everybody, and you wouldn't even gain that many benefits from that one. Even if those systems were the best one you could imagine, I would still be very careful to expand with those, just because I don't want to actually engage in any war with anybody at this stage of the game. Maybe if Lucky Deuce would be an amazing system with 6 planets, oh then amazing, then maybe I'll take the risk, because it's still relatively okay to settle on this system. I wouldn't block anybody, but still it would make a lot of border conflicts, so I would think very heavily before doing so. Now, having that explained, am I ready to go to the next turn? Let's have a quick look at the technology. Well, I almost got the improved thermodynamics, which is all sorts of nice. Is there anything else I can do? Alliance security, I might think about that in the future. For now, I'll leave it as it is. So, let me think. Actually, destroyers probably cost more dust to, what's the word for that? Maintain. So what I'm going to do is change things a little bit around. So I'll go for improved thermodynamics first, then I will actually go for some kind of weapon improvements. So what do I need at this moment? You know what? I think I'll go for integrated structures, because better kinetics is always cool. Actually, never mind. I will not go for that with a very simple reason. I do need as much HP as possible, as humanly possible. So I'll go for better rockets instead. I will suffer on the kinetics front because of that, but I think I can afford it. I kinda need to do more HP as soon as possible. Then I will go for destroyers when my dust production is actually kind of stabilized, because right now it is rubbish. Am I making or losing dust? I'm actually making it, which is all sorts of nice. People are content on Frisia, that's because they already have infinite supermarkets. I guess that would make anyone a little bit happier than they already are. Let's queue up the science for the future. Right now I don't really need it. Are we good to go with the next turn? I believe this is the case, so let's just progress and drink some juice. Maybe it will improve my commentary by just a little. I don't think so, but let's try it nevertheless. I love the taste. Yeah, but this, yet again, brings me back on topic to the Korean festival. It was amazing. Those stands that, all sorts of stands. There was a stand for children, actually 2 stands for just children, when they could paint and play on instruments, and obviously because they are young children, they could not do anything remotely okay because of that. And hello, not that's only a single pirate ship. I can deal if it's only a single one. If there are more waiting over here, then I might be in a problem, but still. But at least the nice change was that the kids could use the Korean instruments to make some horrible music rather than not so, and they were cute looking too. Aside from that, there were many stands. There was a food stand that I actually didn't get to go to, aside from drinking the, what's it called? You know, the Koreanism, Zhenshin thingy, how is it called in English? I don't really remember. Whatever, I think you might actually recall what this is. Actually, you know what, I'm gonna tell you what it is, because I don't remember how to write the name of this particular plant. But I simply do not remember how to pronounce it, so that's how you write it. So you could drink a tea made out of it. As usual, it was tasty. Actually, I might like it a little bit more, the drink made of the same plant, but I'm not too sure yet. I would have to compare those two a little bit more thoroughly. So, you have nothing to do with this turn, so I believe I might actually skip yet another turn, but before this happens I would actually like to try and engage in some kind of positive relationship with somebody that doesn't hate me. So let's have a quick look at Amigos, because they are real friendlies and it's always good to be friends with them because they like being friends with pretty much everybody. So it wouldn't have to do so. And the reason they like being friends with everybody is quite simple. They gain significant bonuses because of that. So why cannot... Okay, so I need to wait a little bit more before I can actually offer peace to the Amigos. How about Horatio? I think that is the same case because I just met them, but maybe the Soas are a little bit different. Yes, indeed I can offer peace. However, I don't really think that they will like it. I still haven't really figured out... Okay, I guess I'm favored by going into alliance, I mean a peace with them, but maybe they'll agree to that. Anyway, no, they will indeed not. So I cannot offer them anything to just invite them to peace. I can, however, hope that they will invite me into peace sooner rather than later on their own, which might very well be the case. We'll see how it goes on. How am I doing? I'm still quite far behind most of the empires, but Amigos being significantly in the lead. They are doing really great, but still I'm not that far behind, so I think I'm good for now. We'll see how it goes. Let's end the turn, because there's not much else I could do here, and keep talking about the Korean festival. What else was there that I could talk about? Well, obviously there were some showcases, so there was the Taekwondo showcase, there was some, not classic, there were traditional Korean music along with the dance that came with it. Quite impressive, I have to say. It was really awesome. It was obviously a speech from the Korean ambassador, which I actually enjoyed thoroughly because everything that is in any way, shape or form connected to Korea I love. And that's pretty much it in a nutshell. It might not sound like much, but I've actually... Oh, see that? Now they offer peace on their own. That's how silly the AS is in the game. But whatever, I don't really seem to mind it. Indeed, I do not mind it at all, as long as we are at peace, and I very much so enjoy this fact, because this means that there is one less potential enemy that we can find, whatever. Now, you dear sir, continue going to this system, and it looks like there aren't any pirates in here. There is one pirate ship that is on its way, but I think I should be able to capture the system nevertheless, which is all sorts of amazing. Actually, I think I may have just click the Control-Shift combination. That is, yeah, I did. Good. I hate clicking it because it's all sorts of annoying. Now another Justice is being produced, and then I'll have public-private partnerships. So how about we skip this? Never mind. I don't want to skip this Justice just yet. What I do want to do, however, is and the framework structures doesn't improve Physia because it's medium. Well, that's a bummer. What can I do here? However, I definitely can and should go for hardened frames. For obvious reasons, I'm going to produce quite a bit of stuff on Physia, even though it's kind of bad. It's still my home system, and because of that I have to take care of it, and because of I take care of it, it produces quite a lot of industry, and thus I should make it count. I hope it made some sense. If it didn't, then don't worry, because to me it didn't. But anyway, what is the second most productive system, or the system with most productive potential? Hey, let's have a quick look. Ilium, yeah, it's decent. Nothing more than that, however. And let's have a quick... Oh, I didn't rename you, Ed. I wanted to rename you to something amazing. I was saving up the name for it. Yeah, so do you remember the Ality exhibition? That's where it took place. That's the name I actually do remember. Yeah, nice. Good job speaking English, bro. Good job. Seriously, never ever... That's a note to self. Never ever try to record videos when... Guys, I don't want to fight you, I was just passing by. Oh boy, I think I might lose this investigator because of Amiga's stupidity. But what can I do? They got a stupid retarded pilgrim here, which is probably the reason why they attacked me in the first place. It's, after all, they are being led by a human. I have no idea why they... Something's really wrong with their brain, apparently. Actually, no wonder, because they don't, technically speaking, have a brain. I have... Do they? No, I'm pretty sure the Amigas don't have a brain, but do they have any neural system? Well, they do have neural system. In fact, the only... Is it that the only animal that doesn't have a neural system is... how are they called? Those are those little... Well, in Polish we call them gąbka. That didn't help you at all. The other thing is that... Why are they firing at me? Do they have no weapons? They have missiles, but they didn't fire them for whatever reason. That's surprising. So anyway, this only animal that actually doesn't have any nerve system is... How to describe it? It's impossible to describe it because it doesn't look like anything. It lives in the bottom of the ocean. It's stationed in the ground. Usually doesn't move, though some species of this particular species, yeah, nice English bro, actually do move, but it generally doesn't move, and there are reefs built out of it. Coral? Is it coral? I'm not too sure. It might not be coral. It might be, I just am not too sure. I think it is coral though. No, it isn't coral. Coral, we have the same name in Polish, and coral doesn't equal gąbka, so that's probably not it. The coral might be a kind of... whatever, let's not dwell too deeply into that, because there is no reason to do so. No, those planets do need some kind of exploitation. Obviously I'm going to go for a temple finance on this, and I don't think I need any graphic anymore on this planet, since I already am processing quite a bit of food on both of those planets. That said, removing graphic is going to reduce it significantly, but still I believe I'm going to be good. It is going to be good enough for my taste and needs. What I do, however, need is more dust, so that's why I went for temple finance over there. Also, what else do I need in this particular system? I don't think I need anything at this point, so I'm just going to set it for dust production for the time being, and I'm probably going to change it in the future. Now, I forgot to exploit this area, which is all sorts of crazy and stupid. And do I still need food production, iron grafting on this small turn? I'm not too sure. You know what, I'm going to leave it as it is, because populating this entire huge area is going to take a while, so I want to speed this up as much as possible, so I'm going to leave the iron grafting for now, and going to change it later. You still... okay, it's still the same turn, wow. They do pass on slowly, at least it feels like they do. Though that is apparently not the case, because I actually also feel like they pass not slowly at all. Listen, it's... in the middle of the day. I'm really not suited for making videocasts at this kind of hour. I believe that I'm simply destined to live at night, and there's nothing wrong with that. In my honest opinion, I actually enjoy it quite a bit, and apparently my videocasts also gain significant bonuses of me making them in the middle of the night. Man, I cannot even speak today. It's pathetic. I really shouldn't make any videocasts when it's not night, because apparently it makes me all sort of an even more pathetic videocaster than I already am, which is quite a significant thing. So yeah, yes, I definitely do need this of propaganda, because my home system kind of hates me for obvious reasons, so I do want to change that quite a bit. Now I have specialized isotopes, that's actually absolutely amazing. I can retrofit my ships, which I'll do in a second. Nevels, which is my borderline system, has finished iron grafting, which is very nice. It also has this, what's it called? The Move upgrade. Sustainable farms, yeah, that's it. So what do I want next from it? I think I'll go for heavy isotopes, and then I'll go for even more food production, because I kind of want to have as much population on the system as soon as possible. I'll explain to you why when talking about the Aegisia in my previous video. But after that, what do I want? I believe I'll go for self-construction and cis-wood systems. In this particular order, self-construction is going to make the system harder to conquer, which is very, very important. While cis-wood systems, well, they simply give you more control over the nearby area. I don't need this to happen just quite yet, because I want the enemy to actually capture Lors. Actually, you know what? I could capture it for myself. Now that I think of it, there's nothing. I thought the system is way worse than it actually is, so I'll actually try to see if I can capture it. And to do so, well, it's still going to take a while till I actually get to technology that will allow me to do so, because, as you can see, actually, if I were to try, it would only take me 4 attempts to do so. And I will be able to skip this race, but that's definitely not what I'm going to do, but I would be able to do so. And I could colonize lava, so that's one way of doing things. Another way is to actually speed up the cis-wood satellites and hope that they would give me enough range to actually blockade the enemy from capturing Lors. And the last possibility is actually sending a fleet there, making sure that the enemy... Wait a second. Okay, so you on Delta is going to guard the system. You guys are going to be the Korean and Drink fleet. Wait a minute, that didn't work out at all. You create a fleet, you got it. I'm thinking very, very intensively if you can't tell it already. Okay, I think this is good. Okay, the other ship is still guarding the system, and you can go to Lors and try and secure it. And I can already queue up the production of my Procreator, because I'm going to need it in order to populate that said system, obviously speaking. Now, let's finish the movement. And who is that? That's an investigator, and amoebas are attacking again? Come on guys, I'm just passing through. Why are you so serious? That was a really pathetic impression of Joker. I usually am quite good at this impression, and now it was utterly pathetic. Yet again, another proof that I shouldn't do anything in the middle of the day, because I simply am very bad at it when the daylight is lighting. Whatever. As you can see, I'm even talking gibberish. I usually am talking gibberish, but it's even worse than usual. So yeah, I believe I'll actually try and end this videocast early, because so far I'm not too amazed with its quality, and because it doesn't look like I am going to be able to improve it anytime soon, I would rather end it early and make an amazing cast later on in the evening than continue on with this one and just be completely dissatisfied with how it went. I don't want to remake it, but because I'm lazy and it wasn't that terrible. But yeah. Where is my ship? Oh great, it's going even further into amoeba space. That's not going to make any issues at all. But at least I'm able to colonize this system. What do I want to colonize? Well, the only planet I am able to colonize. And the main reason why I wanted to colonize this system anyway was to get rid of the pirate spawner. Now, I did have a name saved up for this system, did I? Or did I not? Let me check. I have Lesus, Seus, Scion, Fessia, Agesia, Nevos, and Ilium. Okay, I should check them out. I have this. So I have this one that is free. I have this one that is free. Did I use Nevos? Yes, I did. So I have 2 free name systems. System names that I can use. So I need one more in the future when I will try to capture Sagan. But for now, it's good enough. I'm going to call you. Actually, Lucia. Lucia? Actually, I remember calling something Lucia. Because I call it Lucia on purpose, it's just so adorable. Lucia! Lucia! Cheep, 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 come on. But, oh well, I'm really immature, if you haven't figured it out already. I'm kinda proud of it, so yeah. But anyway, EM radiation, that I don't really care, because it will take a while until I can actually, and until I want to actually expand onto those planets, so yeah. I can, however, go for a little bit of food. +1 on desert and -3, that's an improvement. This would give me +1 on desert as well, but costs less, so that's what I'm going to go for. Later on, those 2 upgrades will do, and then I have a lot of time to think about anything else. So that's all good. And then you say go back to Fessia. So it seems like because of my first expansion plan, I got rid of pretty much every pirate spawner in my empire. Second still might spawn some pirates, but I don't think it'll be too much of an issue. So there we go. The empires are completely overpowered in this particular build of the game. They are very powerful, and they will, given enough time, be able to completely obliterate your empire. However, because I was able to fast expand, I pretty much decimated all their spawn points, because they can only spawn in uncaptured and uncontrolled systems. And thus I should not have too many problems with the pirates at all, while the enemies might actually do. So, is that it for this particular turn? No, it's not, because I was to decide what to go for. Oh, and I was supposed to retrofit my ship as well, so that's what I think I forgot. So, you know what, I'll try and actually colonize Lava before somebody else does it. So this will be kind of big deal, like big push in terms of technology. We'll see how it goes afterwards. I do, however, want to have my destroyers, because obviously they're going to be the backbone of my fleet. As I said, I'm not going to use any bigger fleet than destroyer as an offensive power, because yeah, let's make this play for a little bit more fun and experimental as well. But I will use Gigas, or cruisers as they should be called, as support vehicle without any weapon modules. And in the future, as I said, I will have a single mothership that will be amazing. So, we have those 2. I sounded like a Japanese saying "so" in this kind of manner. They all say this kind of thing like so. Now I can't repeat that, but you know what I mean, and if you don't, then it doesn't really matter, trust me on that one. Now, oh, thank you, I was about to end this videocast anyway, but I do want to prepare another ship design for the Justica. So let's modify this bad boy a little bit. What do I have that is upgraded? I have missiles, better missiles, and that's about it. I also have the ability to add myself 32 HP. That's still not amazing, so I'll probably not do so. Instead, I'll just go for those 3 missiles. Now I feel the total full. Now my tonnage is full, which is very, very nice because it's the same amount of missiles I have, but now they're way, way better, which it could be all sorts of useful. Can I retrofit any of the fleets? Yes, indeed, okay, there's only a single Justicar there on Fissia, but why don't we just retrofit him for the sake of retrofitting it, and anything else I cannot retrofit it because they are in the middle of travel. Okay, it seems like this is the time. This is such a bad videocast. To end this videocast, that's what I meant to say. So why don't I just do it and get rid of it, forget about this videocast, and hope we make a better one in the future, because you definitely deserve better. So it is PANCZASU, that mighty Mixpire. If you, for whatever reason, managed to actually enjoy this videocast, then please like it. It's kind of my channel, though after doing so you might actually think more about disliking it and unsubscribing from my channel. I understand that, don't worry, it was really a bad videocast that I'm going to upload regardless, because it was not that horrible, but it was pretty bad. And I felt like it was necessary to do because I did quite a bit of stuff that wasn't maybe all that particularly interesting, but it was, at least it enlightened you as to what I do in some of the things I do. Well, let's just end it. It was PANCZASU, the mighty Mixpire, or they talked about liking or unliking. Please leave a comment because I do love reading them. It might be even a frank comment or a constructive criticism, more like it, I like them even more. But any comment is fine. Thank you for watching and I'll see you online.